Hi everybody, Sakura Tokito here. We're here at the Baro TennoCon relay, which will be here for roughly 6 more days. I want to do a quick going over of some of the furnishing items that'd be good to purchase from him while he's here with his entire stock. So for you guys who are free-to-play players, this next 6 days or so is a great time to stock up on your ducats, stock up on your credits, and get some items from Baro.
Baro Key Tier at your service.
So one thing, although it isn't a furnishing item, his Void Surplus is available every time he's in town. 50k credits. Not furnishing, but there is good stuff in here. I actually don't remember what I got when I purchased it from this time around, but Bear will be back again this upcoming Friday in another location, so Bear will actually be in 2 locations, unless they decide to change that, in which case we'll have yet another Void Surplus. But anyway, for the furnishing stuff, all the furnishing items you will find under miscellaneous, along with a bunch of other miscellaneous stuff. Starting from the top, the Flare Lizzie poster. This one was actually one of the Friday TennoCon Twitch drops. But if you want to purchase additional ones, you can do so here. I'm probably going to pick up 1 or 2 more myself. Going down, this is one of those items that when I originally saw it, I wish I'd purchased more of it. So this is a great, there aren't many like glasses, drinking items available in the game, at least for your back room or your orbiter. But this one's a good decision. The red stuff in there can be whatever you want it to be. It's blood, wine, whatever, strawberry milk. Although I've never seen strawberry milk that color before. But I may pick up another 1 or 2 of those myself. These Luxem ornaments are just, there's going to be multiple of these up and down the list. They're nice little decorative stuff, nothing... You might, if you're the sort of person who likes building things like kaiju or robots or whatever from like by taking items and putting them together to build something larger. Maybe you're making your own atomic cycle, maybe you're making a car. These are potential items, these Luxem ornaments for that, possibly. They're good building blocks for stuff, otherwise they're just decorative ornaments. Now, the Arcwing Articula, let's go into this one. So you can apply whatever Arcwing... So this takes layouts just like a regular Warframe Articula does, including whatever... Wow, people are very generous with the blessings today. But yeah, these will take layouts like the Warframe Articulas do, including whatever Arcwing you happen to have on. Back when the lighting, the custom lighting was working better with Articulas, Articula would also work with custom lighting. If DE ever gets around to fixing that, it's been at least 3 months. I'm not holding my breath on this one. This is another potential option in the future once if custom lighting starts working again. But other than that, just kind of a different sort of Warframe Articula. So that one's a maybe pickup type thing. If you like your domestic drones, Katir has multiple of them. This is one of them. Only available from him. I think this might have been a Twitch drop once since I've started playing, but these are pricey, very pricey. All the drones from him are quite pricey, but if you want additional drones that don't cost platinum, here's an option. But yeah, that's a lot of ducats and that's a lot of credits. Let's see. Kind of newish, the Baro Floof. This came out recently, like I think in the last few months. So if you like your floofs. The Noggle has been around for a while. I got this one around the time I first started playing, actually. Another drone over here. This one came out of I think this was originally with the Dog Days event, like maybe, I don't think not last year, but the year before, I believe. But again, domestic drones, very pricey. This one, it's either this one or there's another drone that has flames on it that actually, when it's moving, it actually shoots flames out the back. So it is a pretty cool drone. Actually, out of all the drones here, this would probably be the one I recommend the most. in terms of just like cool style type thing. At least it's probably, I would say this is probably, well, a good backroom option. Can kind of be 90s-ish. Yeah, some of these I'm going to skip because it's just like, oh, decorations, nothing dramatic. Like maybe so there's various ship decorations. There's Corpus ones, there's Grineer ones. The Grineer ones have a tiny flame shooting out the back, like actually very tiny flame shooting out the back. The Corpus ones has this design on it. If you want to make use of those tiny flames or this whatever design you want to call this, go ahead and pick these up. They don't cost that much. But the one thing I do want to know, because somebody has brought this up to me before, the Grineer ships, and I'll show you once we get to those, the tiny flames, they aren't really large enough for a fireplace, but they might be large enough if you want to do something like, let's say, a gas grill or a lighter, perhaps. But I'll show you guys once we come across those. This one, just a good generic item. Maybe you want to have one of these near your Tommy Cycle area. It's bop. Mop and bucket. No, I'm not combining those into two words. Good generic item to have, maybe in a bathroom space, maybe a janitorial space, like a Tommy Cycle space. Highly recommend picking this one up. Let's see what else. This one, generic plant. I ended up putting this in one of the helm spaces, because the color theme with the red and the gold and the black matches pretty well there. But if you have any other, like, areas with this color scheme and you want some plants to match that color scheme, this one's a good option. It is relatively cheap for a Baro item. Let's see where else. Spectres, those are not furnishings. Oh, here's so this is one of the Grineer ships I was talking about, the tiny flames. Like, you might be able to make use of something. Like I said, maybe like a gas grill or a lighter or something like that. You aren't going to get a fireplace out of this. Even scaling these up to max size, it is still a pretty tiny flame. But there's something, if he has something with a smaller flame, what you can do, you can make use of this for that. Or you can just have it as is, as a ship decoration. But, and all these Prex cards, some of these have been available as Twitch drops in the past. Like, all of them where I have like 2 instead of 1 have been from a Twitch drop. All the Deimos themes things. I think these actually originally, when they came out originally, and I wasn't playing at the time, these were Twitch drops. Then they got added to Baro. But a lot of Deimos themes here stuff, if you want that, or if you just want to pick these up just for what's on the back. Relatively cheap for a Baro item. But yeah, 9 of those. Maybe you want to have like the 9x9 rectangle of these as a big wall decoration somewhere. I actually have something similar to that in my Orbiter with a bunch of Prex cards. Be a nice Deimos theme there. Floof, more floof. These are cute. And relatively cheap. This one's been around for a while. Other drone, domestic dice drone. Again, very, very expensive. Fancy Orkin-esque themed drone. But, yeah, drone. It's like one of at least 3 drones that Baro has. This one came out, I believe, last year during Dog Days. It's cute. It doesn't get very large, but it's cute. And maybe there'll be some more, another display coming out with Dog Days coming up in about 2-3 weeks, I believe. It's like beginning of August time frame. But, yeah, I did buy one of these. It's probably the closest you're going to get, one of the closest you're going to get to a Warframe pinup there is, if you're into that sort of thing. This one, it's a poster. Yay. Got another one of those Luxem ornaments. This would be I like this one as a building block for something, but personally I'm just using it as an ornament. Let's see, so Orbiter Space Personal Room, the area where you can have like the large aquarium or whatever there. Yeah, so here's your Orbiter Room. This would be more of like a space vignette, like maybe some of those ships that I showed you earlier, you can place those in here. Includes, this is a way to get, another way to get Warframe Articula without Platinum. And price-wise, pretty decent. This is relatively cheap for what it is. So 2 Warframe Articula, which ordinarily cost platinum, but are often a Twitch drop from weekend streamers. And 200,000 credits, 155 ducats. That's pretty good for what this is. So I highly recommend getting this if you don't already own it. Unfortunately, because of the type of item it is, you can only buy it once. But highly recommend that. Noggle. Yay. A couple Noggle statues here. We have one with Excalibur and the Andanta Arcwing. There's a similar one with Mag and the, I think it's the Itzal Arcwing. You can only get these through Baro. These might have been Twitch drops in the past, I don't know. But these are among my favorite Noggles because it is the Arcwing type design. I have these in my back room right now. And ducat-wise, it's pretty cheap. Credit-wise, 200,000. It's starting to get a little up there, but if you're only going to buy a couple Noggles, I'd recommend the Excalibur and Mag with the Arcwings would both be tied, probably be tied for number 2 on my list. I'll show you what my number 1 is once we get down to it later. Yeah, other Noggle era. High era. Now, Fast Floof, there is an associated Voam Floof down at the bottom of the list as well. Again, also only from Baro. These have been Twitch drops in the past. These are among my favorite floofs. This does have kind of a glowing, shiny effect in the right lighting, or lack of lighting. Among the floofs, highly, highly recommend these. These are very nice floofs. And if you want to make something that looks almost flowery, you can kind of do it with these, with the, maybe tuck the bottom of this under the ground or something like that, and you have almost something flowery. More posters. Yay. Another decoration, another decoration. Gravlifter Factory, I've seen this as a Twitch drop multiple times. I've only caught it once. I think this can get kind of big. I don't remember if this gets small enough for shelves or not, but it also is very, very, very cheap. If you want it, get it. Let's see, going down. Another relatively recent floof, along with the Baro floof, is the Naros floof. I think this came out the same time the Baro floof did. So if you don't have it yet, and you like your floof, you'll get it. Relatively cheap. For a Baro item. The Javi stuff, you can probably do a nice Javi theme type stuff, theme type thing in your personal area by getting the stencil scrolling that covers the whole room. And then you can buy a bunch of these Javi things to just add on the wall alongside of it. These are kind of like, these are essentially posters or displays that have a transparent background, so it's just showing the scrolling. If you're not familiar with who the heck Javi is, look up Lavos in the, I believe, the Laverian. I think that's where the story Javi's covered under there. But yeah, dudes associated with Lavos' story. Now, highly recommended item here, if you want to have any sort of like full-out dishware type stuff in your housing space, highly recommend this item. I've used these many, many, many times in several builds. The only downside it being is all the dishware is stacked instead of like stuff placed out. But it can at least be a good representation of dishware that isn't just another Zeraman dishware item. So if you want something fancier, you want something with chopsticks, this is going to be your main go-to for like the Orbiter or Backroom or Dormer Zone. So I highly recommend this one. What else we got? Pedestals. There's multiple pedestals. Some of these pedestals that will be showing up in here do not cost any ducats at all. However, they are very credit expensive. This is not one of them. Tier stencil, same. Little heavy on the stencil side, but if you like it, you don't, you don't. Another ornament. And here's the mag with Itzal Arcwing I mentioned earlier. Like I said, like number 2, type of number 2 on Noggles I'd recommend getting from Baro. Now this Octavia one, this one I believe originally came out as only a Twitch drop and now is only available from Baro. So if you're an Octavia fan, you get it here from Baro here. It might be a Twitch drop again in the future, who knows, but... It's really pretty. I don't remember where this one originally came from, and this might be a recent addition. I don't remember, but could look good in like a helm of space or whatever. I can see that working very well with certain themes. Like maybe you can do something like where you scale it up completely and completely tuck the base of this under the ground. I have done that in some rooms before, some noggles. Looks kind of cool. Ortis, I'm going to mispronounce this, Refied Statue. This has been a Twitch drop at least twice since I've started playing. I've never bought it from Baro myself. It is a little bit pricey, but it does look absolutely gorgeous. If you can afford it and you can like it, get it. But again, it might come up as a Twitch drop again in the near future. Who knows? Another pedestal. This is one of the pedestals that costs only credits, but it's 1,000,000 credits, so it's pricey. I believe there's another pedestal. It's also the same. Horizon poster, cheap. But if you want a tall, thin poster, this is a good option. It is shiny. Kind of like how the Focus School posters are also kind of shiny. I had this one in my back room in the foundry space on one of the little tall, thin side walls. More poster. Shiny. Let's see what else we got. Another ornament. Another display. Not my favorite. This doesn't get all that large. This is a pretty tiny display, but if you like her, like that, go for it. It is kind of cheap. But again, it does not get very big. See, Rhapsody in blue. I do like the design on this one. It doesn't get super huge. If you're not familiar with the reference, go listen to the band Queen. It's relatively cheap. This one, this one of those Laverian items. I don't really know. Let's talk about the history of Ivara and whatnot. I don't know the history off the top of my head, but this might be a good filler in item somewhere. Maybe put on a wall, put it on a table, something like that. It looks almost bug-like, so maybe it can even fit in with not just Ivara, but maybe even Inaros, perhaps. More decoration, more ornament. Now we're getting into the big ones that I top my recommendation list. But first, other pedestal. Costs 1,000,000 credits, but it costs 0 ducats. If you have the credits to blow and you like this, go for it. Go buy a bunch of them. Now, one of the things I highly recommend are these rugs. These do not get super huge, but I've actually ended up using these. I would take multiples of these and just put them side by side by side to have like a long rug runner. I have that in my the back space, the orbiter room, and the not orbiter room, the operator room in the orbiter, and it looks really, really nice. I have like 12 of these just stretching, kind of going as a runner. It looks awesome. I have at least one of these in my back room as well, but I highly recommend this rug. There aren't many free-to-play rug options. This is a fantastic one. This, I would say, among the free-to-play rugs, this is the best one you're going to get. And they can look pretty nice just stacked, like side by side as well. So this one, stock up on them while they're there. Highly recommend this. The other one, highly, highly recommend, mainly because the custom lighting stuff is currently broken and has been for 3 months. This New War Veso R Noggle. You can't really see it here very well. You can almost see it kind of here. This Noggle is a light-emitting Noggle. It emits a bright white light. So if all your light source stuff with the custom lighting and the loadouts with the ephemeras, if it's, as of now, as of recording this, it's only working with the Asperus Apex. Let me phrase this. So the Asperus Apex, it's by default green lighting. So when you put on a loadout with that ephemera on, no matter what energy color you have applied to that ephemera, it always shows up as a bright green. That's been broken since Techron Encore. So another lighting option you have here is with these New War Veso R noggles. It emits bright white light, so you can use these in its place if you want a white light somewhere. So who knows if that other custom lighting will ever get fixed. It's been 3 months already. It's been reported by multiple people in the Warframe forums, but it's probably not that, I wouldn't say it's like the top of their priorities list, so who knows if it will ever get fixed. But if you want your custom lighting of like a white variety, this is your go-to. Stock up on these. Get a bunch of these. I'm gonna buy more of these eventually. Ducat-wise, this is cheap, 75 ducats. Credits-wise, depends on how much you have on you. 300k, but this is out of all the items Baro's selling for housing stuff, this is the one I'd recommend the most. Stock up on these if you want to have some custom lighting to brighten up some areas. Let's see. So down here, again, another ornament. So I mentioned oh, by the way, Noggle-wise, this is, as you couldn't have guessed already, this is the #1 Noggle I'd recommend getting because of that lighting option. So, anyway, back down here, Vom Floof matches with the Foss Floof from earlier. These are the floofs I'd recommend getting the most. They are quite cute. That is that shining, glowing eye-esque thing there. Highly recommend those among the floofs. Another fighter ship, another ornament, another Prex card. These I've seen drop from Twitch drops multiple times. Doesn't mean it will or won't happen again, but that's the reason I have 4 of them, is because of Twitch drops. I've never actually bought this from Baro. And yeah, that's it for furnishing. So yeah, Baro will be around for, in here, it's just under 6 more days, so he is leaving, I believe it is, I might be slightly wrong here, but I want to say it's 11 a.m. Eastern time this Saturday. So yeah, take advantage of his stock while you got it. Go crack open a bunch of relics. There's a bunch of other great stuff in here, like in general, what people would recommend most getting from Baro is just these Prime mods. There are some fantastic mods in here, particularly for endgame builds. Some of these weapons as well. A good chunk of these you can only get through him. So if you're leveling up Affinity, you want to get your Master rank up, take advantage of these being all available as well. But yeah, whatever you get, what you want, get what you're able. There's an awful lot here. But yeah, that is it for this video. May or may not have a build video soon. I'm putting together another room, which is going to take a while to fill up, but it'll be out when it's out. So, all you guys, happy TennoCon 2025, and thank you for watching, everybody.